pack one, pick one. We have Draconic Intervention, which I actually like quite a bit. That can be a Wrath as long as you got an expensive spell in your bin. What would be competing with that? Heated Debate ain't bad. Elemental Summoning's pretty good. Doomblade's great. I can see an argument to take Doomblade. I can see a really good argument to take Doomblade. Like, Draconic Intervention is certainly unique. But Doomblade is like super easy to splash and kills anything. I think this is just Doomblade. I first picked a lot of Doomblades in my life. Didn't think I'd be doing it here. Like just a single pip, so easy to splash. What's not to love? All right, so Fracture sucks. Well, there's just going to be sideboard enabled, which I normally don't play with size boards. So we need to identify what's like actively the best card here. I think the best card is it Prismari Apprentice? This pack kind of stinky dinky. I could see an argument for taking Inkling Summonings. It's very nice to have in your size board. No, it's probably not. But there are some enchantments that you'd really want to get rid of. The thing is, I'll probably wheel that. The pick here is either Prismari Apprentice, Witherbloom Pledge Mage, or Inkling Summoning. Oh god, I don't have time. I'm going to take the Summoning and see where this takes me. If we end up in Silverquill, it'll be great. All right. So Aether Helix, I like a lot. It does not go with either of our first picks. I could also take Cultivate, which is Cultigrate, and plan on using that plus the Doomblade to solidify me in Witherbloom with the idea that we would probably splash cards like Aether Helix. The other direction we could go is taking something like Guiding Voice and just buckle in. But if we're trying to draft as open as possible, I think Cultivate is where I want to be. This is actually the start of a decent Sultai deck. We talked some about drafting wedges in a recent video. Well, there's Devouring Tendrils. This thing's not wonderful, is it? You get 2 cards back. So it's 5 mana, draw 2 cards, or you can chunk cards to make 1/1s and then maybe draw some cards later. I don't know. I feel like this is okay, and this is pretty dang good. So like we're starting the draft with 2 Doomblades and a Cultivate. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I just don't think I want it. Like if I take this Tendrils and then wheel the Golem, the Cram Session, the Spectre, Anatomy, we could do stuff. I think we're actually just in a situation where this is quite open and we're... Here's your Witherbloom deck if you want to draft it. Okay, I'll draft it. I feel like we just did this. One of those 2 Pledge Mages could wheel for us. And I mean, this is a little bit metagaming, which kind of is what it is. But Talia said she hates drafting Witherbloom, and she's passing to us in the next pack. Like, they was chit-chatting, but she was like, man, I hate drafting Witherbloom. Like, cool, let's not give her any reason at all to do that. Okay, so here's a piece of the puzzle that can be a problem. Nah, I think we still just gung-ho. If we've got any reasonable type of Witherbloom deck, this is going to be good. If we don't, meh, it's fine. Elemental Summonings, again, is kind of staring at us there. Flash red for what? Ain't seen nothing we'd want to splash for yet. So Lash of Malice can be all right. Campus Guide can be all right. The Wrangler could be okay here. Faithless? No. That's not a card you would play in most limited decks, much less splash for. You need to be looking for something real specific to want to play that. I think I'm going to go with the Campus Guide here. Sure. I don't understand. I mean, I guess what we're drafting is open. That's pretty neat. I know Tally is not going to take my Blood Researcher. So our removal suite is done. We don't need any more removal. What we need is search for specimens and a couple pesty things and maybe a big dumb green thing, and we're good to go. The reason I took the Campus Guide is we've already got a Cultivate. So between that and the Cultivate, we could realistically splash anything we wanted. It doesn't even have to be in our college. No, this guy's fine. I mean, this is a little better than fine. But like, if we wanted to splash a Wormhole Serpent, we totally could. But like, generally speaking, we'd be looking to splash like, I don't know, a blue-green card, and we could do that. But this just gives us a ton of options. Like, now that we're in sideboard play, I could actually take this Fracture. If somebody has one of the unbeatable enchantments, I can sideboard it in and just put a Plains in the deck, and we're good to go. Like, I don't think we're going to main deck that. I don't think it'll come up very often, but why not have the option? So here we've got a Lash of Malice, which I think we would probably main deck. We could also consider splashing the Spiteful Squad. But I think I'm going to take the Lash. I think that sends a little bit better signal, and I think I'm probably going to play it. Our Reflective Golem spun. We're not currently in a deck that wants to play it. And I think I would like to have the Spectre. But I could see an argument for this. Literally, the Witherbloom deck we just drafted on stream wanted a Reflective Golem. I decide which of these I'm more likely to play. I think the first Groff, but it's not guaranteed in. Okay, apparently it's Free Spectre Day, which is cool. And if we've done this right, Talia will pass us a good Witherbloom card. I mean, it's also okay if we just open one, right? I ain't got to play with this yet, but it's pretty freaking good. Come on in, buddy. So at this point, like, any 2-drop is fine. Any 3, like, ideally all of our 3-drops from here are Blood Researchers. I think there's enough life gain built in now that we can make it work. Maybe she passes me the Arch. It's okay if there's another person in Witherbloom at the table, right? The fact that we saw them that late means there's probably only 2 of us. And that's fine. So we've got Leyline Invocation as random big thing. Archway Commons is fine. Master Symmetrist is fine. Although our creatures aren't very symmetrical. It is randomly a 4/4 reach. I could play a 4/4 reach. I'd say it's unexciting. But it still looks okay, and I might get a Leyline Invocation later. I don't think the Groff is in currently, and I don't think 2 Spectres are in. This is obviously not in either. Emergent Sequence ramps us a little bit. I don't need more removal. Well, I said I was interested in 2-drops. I don't think I want the library in this deck. I want to pick up one Crushing Disappointment for card advantage, but I think we'd play Emergent Sequence. Like it's a tapped 2-drop, but it's a 2-drop that taps for mana. And again, I could sort of see a spot for the Wrangler in this deck. This also has some interesting interactions with Cultivate. I don't have to play the Cultivate. Like, there's currently not really anything I'd want to splash for. Maybe that Shield Mage if it spins. Because that would be a way to get some flyers in here. Good grief. There's so many cards here I'm interested in, but I guess I'll just take the 8/8 Trample. That seems okay. And we've got one drill. I don't think we're going to get to 10 drills, but somebody is going ham on the lessons and learning. So we're basically not going to get any of those. The only learn card I have is the Poet's Quill, right? We literally just drafted this deck. Yes, Rob. This is a slightly different version of it. Ooh, lordy. Yeah, there's more removal there, but I've already got 3 removal spells. I don't think I need that many. I really like Damogoth Woe Eater. I'm also particularly interested in the Colony and the Blood Researcher. Don't really need more 4s. But, I mean, this is an uncommon and it's good. Okay, cool. This is what we're doing. I don't have a lot of things to feed to it. But I tell you what, I will gobble up a search for specimens right now. We don't need it. It's okay to just play this as like, you can't attack me on the ground for this turn, dig a little deeper, and burn you. Like, this basically says cycle, deal 2 points of damage to your opponent. It's not bad. Oh, hallelujah. Where have you been all my life? We're interested in this too, but our deck is open. Yeah, but let's think about commons that we want, right? Like, those are things we can expect. I can now start prioritizing the second lesson. That was really loud and kind of scared me. Verdant Mastery is not really something I want. Golden Ratio is not really something I want. I could play Mastery. I don't think I would, though. I guess Infused with Vitality is looking a little more interesting to me. Yeah, I've done some interesting things there before, too. So this was a really good wheel for us, because we've got 2 learn cards, and this would be our second lesson. I'm concerned about playing it with not enough creatures. That could be a problem. And I still don't really have a reason to be playing this Cultivate. You can. You just need to set an upkeep stop. Then you've kind of built your own Mind Rot and Divination. I don't think I would play Professor's Warning here. I suppose I could. I'm going to see another one of those. This Commons is interesting to me. I might have enough cards that I could play this Wrangler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 potential triggers. It's a possibility. Like, there's still a pack left. I actually do really like Village Rites as a sideboard card. So let's grab one. If our opponent's incredibly removal heavy, we could use something like that. I don't think I'm playing that. Interesting sideboard card, though. Sure. Let's Dark Ritual it up. Tend the Pest is something that I might play, but probably not. Whereas Hunt for Specimens, I want about 5 of them. Like, if this pack gives us 4 more Hunt for Specimens, I'm happy. Tend the Pest is really not something I want to play. I sideboarded it in the last time we played this, and it was fine. It wasn't great. We could play Eureka Moment for some card advantage, but I kind of don't need that with the 2 Woe Eaters. I could play another Onslaught. If I'm doing that, then it's pretty reasonable to play this Wrangler. My early game's suffering, but I can pick up some garbage twos and move along. This is not an amazing pack. Emergent Sequence gives us another 2-drop. I don't hate that. And again, if we got past anything that was worth splashing, we could do it. Expanded Anatomy is interesting too. But I'd have to get another learn card to do that, and I think this is like guaranteed main deck. It's also another creature that interacts with the Wrangler, so I think I'm getting closer and closer to wanting that Wrangler. If we see another Tin the Pest, I'll probably take it. I certainly will now. Yeah, now all I want is Tin the Pest. Go figure. But if another one's opened, we'll probably get it. I'd also be happy with, like, again, 5 more Hunt for Specimens. Because, like, this is our deck currently. I don't think I'm currently playing Cultivate. Well, there's a 2-drop and a half, eh? It's literally everything this Kronk Wrangler wants to be. Sold. Come on in. So if this is the deck, I'm happy. I like the learn mechanic. I think it's the best thing this format has going for it. I really don't think I need this Cultivate. Because I'm not splashing anything. I'd rather just get... At this point, I would play 10 the Pests. I'd probably play 9 the Pests. I don't need more... Actually, I probably want Containment Breach. We could splash that Silver Quill Command if we wanted to. It's going to cycle, make somebody sacrifice, or just close out a game. I have zero interest in the Eye Witch. The question is, do we want Silver Quill Command for the main, or do we want Containment Breach? I think I at least want access to this. It does do the learning. That is not where I want my learning. Certainly play Dina. Like at this point, I probably don't need the campus guide either. Like we've got some strong options here for how we want to finish this out. Two's probably too many penguin, I would think. I think I've got too many good options not to take the snarl here. I'd honestly rather have the tap land that lets you scry. But like we're done on playables. So I may as well have good mana. There's another pest summoning. I don't have a way to go fetch it. But that's a good problem to have. This table is fighting very hard on blue. And nobody wants to play Golgari. Well, somebody did grab those other two blood researchers, which I think we'd have played. But it's not like we're chock full of life gain. And this is not as aggressive as the last Golgari deck we put together. There's no reason not to have Confront the Past in my size board. Yeah, we still got to decide what our last card is, and there's a lot of different packages it could be. I mean, I could, for curve purposes, take the Unhappy Servant. I don't think I'm actually going to play it, though. So we've got what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 actual creatures. The last card could be Fortifying Drought. I don't hate that. Like, that's a solid combat trick that solves a lot of the problems we would have issues with. That means I may not need Lash of Malice. Yeah, Drought seems very excellent. I don't need this, but I kind of want to take the Leech Fanatic and cut the Lash of Malice. I'm going to do that. There's a world where I side that in some matchups. I think there's a possibility we could have played the Witch too, and if I had known we were going to get past a Demogoth Titan, I would have taken the 10 to pass, but this is fine. I've got 2 pest summonings, which is basically what we're always going to get when we go learn. So this would draw me 2 pests. And what was our other learn card? I was pretty sure I had one. Oh, the Hunt for Specimens. If I don't draw these, we're not doing a whole lot of learning. We've got a free splash, and I'm trying to think, is Silverquill Command worth that? I think the Cultivate's out, because we've got the 2 mana rampers. Like, jumping something +3/+3 is kind of big. It being a sorcery kind of sucks, right? Like, it's almost always going to be give something flying and they sack something. If this was an instant, I think I'd play it. It's not, so I don't think I'm going to.